Thank you, Howard. I appreciate it. Well, good morning, everybody. Oh, at least a little bit better. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Well, I'm excited to be here. I have always been surrounded by strong individuals, male and female. I believe in life that God has given us a great gift. It is called the first breath of the morning. It's something that we come into in life, and it's a passion that we have. And when you begin to look at this kind of an issue, I am proud to be here. Because when we look at this issue of criminal justice reform, we talk about women in prison, we talk about individuals in life. When I look to my right and I see the Capitol standing there, it is that hope of the world. So my question is, what can we do in there to be the hope of our communities? How do we take that hope of our communities and begin to look at the issues in which we are dealing with? In which in my jails and state and local and federal facilities, when you have over 1/3 of those incarcerated dealing with serious mental health issues. We do not need jails that are mental health facilities. We need jails to put people in we are scared of, not those that we are mad at. And that's something we got to take into credit. We've got to be able to sit here and begin to believe that those that need help, we've got to find better ways, because what happens is when one makes a choice and they're incarcerated or they're choosing bad choices that have gotten them on the wrong side of the law, the question is, do we put them away and forget them forever? Or basically, how many of you in this room, maybe within the last 24 hours, have said something that you wish you hadn't? Said something that maybe made your spouse or significant other say, huh? I've been married gratefully for 30 years, almost come next June. I am very used to a strong 5'2" woman in my life. So when we understand this, the question then becomes was just said, Holly, what do we do with women, and how do we again begin to make a difference in their lives, especially those that have been incarcerated, when 80% of those are dealing with substance abuse issues, when another 80% have young children? And when those are removed from the family structure, when those are moved from the community structure, it is the reason that we struggle, because we don't really know how. There's a part of our society that says, if you make mistakes, we don't want to deal with you. But I believe that there is a faith in this country that opens their arms and says, if any of you have not sinned, then cast the first stone. And I don't see a rock coming up. So my question is, how do we look at positive solutions going forward? One of the things that we're getting ready, and I've been involved in criminal justice reform on many different levels, we're getting ready to reintroduce is how do we deal with those prisoners who are already in prison and give incentives for them to find life skills that when they get out, that they can then take those life skills, not only reduce their time in prison, getting to halfway houses, but then take those life skills and then go back into the community with something that gives them a better choice. I believe deeply inside that women and men, there is an inherent nature to do something positive, to do something with their life. Sometimes choices and lifestyles and where they were born have inhibited that. But if we as a country value life as much as we say we do, then we value all life, even those who have made mistakes and have went through the incarceration system. As you can probably look at the program, this needs and is a bipartisan issue. There are many things in this town we can fight over. Name what the sky looks like today. We have a good time with that. But at the end of the day, when for me it comes down to a choice, and like in the state of Georgia, Governor Deal was once a member here for over almost 20 years and learned this and went back to the state and began to apply these principles, we're seeing lives changed. We're seeing people reformed. We're seeing people make better choices. Why? Because they have better avenues for choices. Because the governor has said, instead of incarcerating and spending billions of dollars to keep incarcerating, why don't we put them back into the community where they're actually making lives that spend billions and investing in each other? That's the kind of things that we need to work on. But it takes an attitude to realize that you can be firm and you can be tender in the same hug. Too many of us think that we just have to be firm and they'll get the message eventually. Some of you are saying, well, Doug, where did you get this? I have to tell you, my dad's a Georgia State Trooper for 31 years. He thought it was pretty funny to pick me up in high school and put me in the back seat of the car to take me home. I didn't tend to think that was too cute, but he did. Hey, did you see Doug? He got put in the back seat of the car. It's my dad. I get law enforcement, but I'm also a chaplain and a pastor. I've served in Iraq with the Air Force as a chaplain. I'm also an attorney who has represented those on their worst day. Because my faith teaches me if I was stood with on my worst day, then I can stand with somebody on their worst day. So my question for you and my question for this conference is, will we talk about the problems or will we search for solutions? Will we talk about the inequities and the problems that are out there and say and have a good group moment where we know what the problems are? Or the question for this conference in my mind would be, do we take the problems and find the solutions? Because simply griping about the problem, nobody wants to talk about. You find positive solutions, then people will respond. When you understand that, I put things in simple terms for this old simple boy from Northeast Georgia. This is about M&Ms to me. It's money and morals. It's money and morals. From the conservative hat that I can wear many times, it's about saving money, but also from the conservative, compassionate heart, it's about seeing people as I believe they were created with infinite worth. Infinite worth. And if I don't believe that, then something's wrong with me. So my question for you today, I have you one last challenge. Follow us, see what we're doing. We may disagree on a lot of issues, but when it comes to the structure and the value of people, we stand together. Because if we don't stand together, then we're headed down a path that none of us want to see. When money and morals can come together here, we can find ways for people to have better choices, to have better outcomes, and to have our communities put together in a way that takes us not only from a firm choices and law and order society, but from one that says once you've made that mistake, let's give you every opportunity to recover from that and move forward and to restore families and to restore lives and to restore hope. When we do that, you will learn that hope is not a partisan issue. It is a life issue. It is for those who need to know that somebody cares. And for those around the country right now who may not get a visit, maybe they can catch part of this video. And I'll tell you right now, there are people who care. Don't give up hope. Because one day, you'll have the opportunity to re-enter, to see those family members. And I want to be a part of making that happen so that our society is made better. As we go forward today, my last thought to you is this. I challenge you with this thought. Find somebody, every person you look into today, even in this conference and out on the street and wherever you go, they have infinite worth. Next time you go into a prison, they may not be what you have chose to be. They may have done some things that maybe you chose not to do. And maybe they're unfairly there. But at the end of the day, when you look in their eyes, they have infinite worth. And when that is the basis for decision making, then we can begin to see a brighter tomorrow. God bless you and thank you so much.